fucking PC kept crashing while I'm trying to turn it on. Let's see what they got going on with yeah, this is where in AEW CEO, you know what I'm saying, is being exposed anyway for his uh for his lies to the wrestling media. The reason why he lied to the wrestling media, cause he kept feeding them bullshit to 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 exemplify and overfeed his own agenda. And this is what happens when he lied. We already got a bunch of people like, you know, we got people from uh from Fightful, Sports Illustrated, and Wrestling Observer. Yeah, they caught him in a lie, man. They caught that man in a lie. They caught Tony Khan, the AEW CEO, Tony Khan. They caught him in a lie, bro. Listen to this theme song that came from a Final Fantasy video game on PlayStation. Listen. There's Sean Ross Sapp. He exposed Tony Khan. We got somebody else. We got somebody else from Sports Illustrated. He exposed Tony Khan. Then Dave Meltzer. David Meltzer has been an editor for years. He exposed Tony Khan for the fool that he is. He exposed Tony Khan for his lies. Let's back to you, JD.
What'd you think of that little intro? Put the Final Fantasy VII music over a bit. That Final Fantasy Sephiroth Final Boss music, man. It goes perfect with what we're talking about here, right? And how the media manipulates the lies, right? Tony Khan, absolutely fantastic.
They exposed him for his lies.
That's a great idea. Great idea.
They exposed him, bro.
You know, I might have to
They
start
exposed
watching
him.
TNA just because what they did last night was absolutely fucking so fantastic. I'm not even talking about the show. What they did last night was so fantastic. It's kicked the door open in a multitude of ways in regards to this Trey Miguel story and why he was fired from AEW. They brought back Trey Miguel last night on episode 2 of TNA Impact on AMC. This was after
They hired him, bro.
Where
TNA hired him back.
Signed a contract with the rest of his friends, Desmond Xavier, Zachary Wentz, and Myron Reed, Trey Miguel. All 4 of them were supposed to go to AEW and be the Rascals. He was brought in and fired in the same week, only to then go on social media and tell everybody he was taking a mental break away from pro wrestling, only to then reemerge on TNA Impact and claim that he's now back in professional wrestling. And the mental health break from pro wrestling spanning 3 days is absolutely miraculous. Miraculous. TNA burst the bubble of the dirt sheets and burst the bubble of Tony Khan's narrative as to why Trey Miguel was fired by AEW. Trey Miguel's back on Impact after a tumultuous week that saw him join and then exit the company. He was set to debut alongside the rest of his friends in the Rascals, and he apparently was supposed to be with them on AEW Collision last Saturday, but when everybody noticed that he wasn't there, it immediately triggered a discussion over Trey Miguel's status with the company. Now, it was reported that he was let go because he wanted a mental health break, which did not make any sense. It didn't make any sense. He's stepping away because he needs to take time for himself. You don't leave TNA to join AEW and sign a contract with everybody in your group at the same time to then all of a sudden go and tweet that you'll be joining AEW and retweeting the graphic and the vignette that they made for you, to then go and say, I'm taking a mental break and stepping away from pro wrestling. None of it ever made any sense. And then legitimately, the same day, it started to become very apparent as to why Trey Miguel was fired by AEW. Old social media posts resurfaced. Old Facebook posts came to light. 2020 is when these comments were made. It was during a Facebook back and forth with a fan. Miguel used homophobic language. In his response, he did apologize shortly thereafter. Now, he also mentioned something about ex-pro wrestler David Starr, and he made some derogatory comments about him being Jewish, and you guys can go find these. They're readily available. The internet never forgets. Now, as far as all of these comments, he did apologize thereafter, and the post, apparently from 2020, in regards to this fan and to David Starr, have been a deal breaker for Warner Bros. Discovery, who are believed to have made the call to release Trey Miguel. That is what the media, that is what the pro wrestling media wants you to believe, that these posts have been a deal breaker for Warner Bros. Discovery, who are believed to have made the call to release Trey Miguel. Warner Brothers Discovery doesn't even know who Trey Miguel is. Warner Brothers Discovery doesn't know who any of the Rascals are. Warner Brothers Discovery, in light of them selling everything to Netflix with this absolutely humongous deal that right now is still ongoing, they are not going to be bothered by who Tony Khan brings in to his little fantasy league known as AEW. None of anybody that works at Warner Brothers Discovery is going to be bothered about bringing Trey Miguel into All Elite Wrestling. So that's line number one. There's nobody there that knows and nobody there that cares. That is what they wanted us to believe as far as the dirt sheets reporting the news. So when Tony Khan got wind of whatever was going on with Trey Miguel, he immediately sent out whatever he needed to be reported to Meltzer, to Sapp, and to John Alba, and all these other dirt sheets that are working within AEW's boundaries, working in conjunction with AEW. That is the story that he wanted out, that it came from above. Tony Khan sent out the narrative that it came from above. Meanwhile, nobody at Warner Brothers Discovery, I know for a fact, gives a shit or even knows about the existence of the Rascals or Trey Miguel. So that's what they want you to believe. He was brought back to TNA last night on Thursday, second episode on AMC, and appeared as a surprise entrance in the Feast or Fired match on Thursday and captured one of the briefcases. Now, It would be hilarious if he opened up the briefcase and he ended up being fired again from TNA. I doubt that's going to be the case. After his release, Trey Miguel initially stated he was taking a break from professional wrestling.
This is what Trey Miguel has said this. Let me tell you about the Trey Miguel. He said this. This is his post. It's been saying it was from X. It's from X. It's from X, formerly known as Twitter. It says this. He said that I planned to step away from wrestling. After the week I went through, it was really hard on me mentally and emotionally. I didn't think I could do it anymore. Thank you. Thank you to everyone. It says thank you to everyone who had my back, especially at This Is TNA. It was hard not to quit, but we can't give up. Thank you, God. See, we explain to y'all. This is from. See, the tweet just came from like yesterday, bro. This came from like yesterday. It says that he planned to step away from wrestling after the week that he went through. It was really hard on him mentally and emotionally that he didn't think that he could do it anymore. He started to thank everyone, especially the ones who had his back, especially TNA Wrestling, that it was hard for him not to quit. But he, along with the Rascals, they cannot give it up. He started thanking God for that chance and that blessing that he would that he been getting from him. He been getting that blessing from God. God gives him the blessing for him to do what he had to do because he's just the main rascal for life. But he wants to be he wants to he wants to go back to TNA and and get his go get his singles run. He doesn't want to be in a faction run anymore. He wants to be on a singles run. He wants to be on a singles run, like so he can work with the X division if he wants to be with the X division. And we could get to the nuts and bolts of this tweet that JD was reading to the rest of us right here.
He went on to say, I plan to step away from pro wrestling after the week I went through. It was really hard on me mentally and emotionally. I didn't think I could do it anymore. Thank you to everyone who had my back, especially TNA. It was hard not to quit, but we can't give up. Thank you, God. This was after he posted about.
This is what came from this is another tweet that came from I think it was Tuesday. No, it was probably Monday. I think the tweet probably came from like at least Monday. I don't even know. It came from Monday. It was like before. I don't even know. This was before I had to do my video. This was before I had to go do my videos on YouTube. Uh, this is another tweet that came from him. That was from like Monday. It was right before. It was hours before. It was hours before I had to do my videos on YouTube. And this is what Troy Miguel said. He said that I made a lot of mistakes in my time. I've always apologized and did my best to put a better foot forward after. I don't preach hate, and I don't take any pride in being hateful. I'm a man of faith. I believe in forgiveness, and the only ever preach that I'm a different man today. This is from like Monday. This is what Trey Miguel had already started apologizing to the woke mafia that he said that he made a lot of mistakes in his time. He always apologized and he did best to put a better foot forward after, and he doesn't even preach hate, and he doesn't even take any pride in being hateful at all. He never take any pride in being hateful at all. He doesn't. He says he's just a man of faith. Of He's just a man of faith, and he just believes in forgiveness, and he only ever preaching that. Yeah, he only ever preaching that he is a different man on that day. The tweet came from like previous Monday. This is before that tweet just got that he just posted out yesterday. He did two tweets, one from Monday and one from yesterday, because he had to do what he had to do to make it uh his little caveat to start squashing things with the woke mafia. You know what I'm saying? Let's start back with the tweet that JD was telling us to. The tweet that's from previous Monday afternoon.
The Facebook posts, and he had to apologize to the woke mob. I've made a lot of mistakes in my time. I've always apologized and did my best to put a better foot forward. I don't preach hate, and I don't take any pride in being hateful. I'm a man of faith. I believe in forgiveness and only ever preach that. I am a different man today. So when I saw this, I went on social media and I said this. And everybody.
Oh, JD, why did you have to tweet? Why'd you tweeting about Trey Miguel and you know he was getting ready to get the fuck up out of AEW to go back to TNA as a singles wrestler? Jerry, why did you do that? You fucking idiot. This is JD wanted to remedy the situation, but he probably almost made it like a little, worse for other people to know that's gonna cause a lot of problems for Trey Miguel. It's gonna cause a lot of problems with Desmond Xavier and Myron Reed and Zachary Wentz. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna cause problems with all four of them as far as I know of. This is JD in his tweet. He said this in a verbatim that you're ready to hear on this live show here. JD said that the fact that Trey Miguel was brought back to TNA on the second show of their new American Movie Classics deal after being fired from AEW after a week shows you the WBD excuse they had the dirt sheets run was complete and utter bullshit. Nobody there was screening Trey Miguel, and if AMC American Movie Classics doesn't give a shit, I doubt WBD did. You've been lied to.
Everybody seemingly is getting upset about my stance on this particular topic. The fact that Trey Miguel was brought back to TNA on the second show of their new AMC deal after being fired from AEW after a week shows you the Warner Brothers Discovery excuse they had the dirt sheets run with was complete and utter bullshit. Nobody there was screaming Trey Miguel, and if AMC doesn't give a shit, I doubt Warner Brothers Discovery did. You've all been lied to. So obviously Dave Meltzer chimes in.
See, this is after JD's tweet, like the fact that Trey Miguel was brought back to TNA on the second show of their new AMC deal after being fired from AEW. After a week shows you the WBD excuse they had the dirt sheets run was complete and utter bullshit. And utter bullshit. And guess who fucking replied to JD's tweet? A guy who's already been an editor for the Wrestling News Observer for years. Let me look him up. Let me go look him up. Let me look him up. Yes, not this guy. Got the wrong guy. I got the wrong fucking guy. Yep, Dave Meltzer. Let me explain to you about David Meltzer. He's been an American journalist, author, and a historian who reports on pro wrestling and MMA. You know what I'm saying? Ever since 1983. See, let me tell you about this. For 43 fucking years, he has been an editor of the Wrestling Observer newsletter. He said this by responding to what JD had already said about Trey Miguel being fired from AEW, and TNA is bringing him back. You want to hear what Mr. David Meltzer hear what Mr. David Meltzer had to say? He said this, that actually it confirms it, but you have to have a brain to understand that type of stuff.
And says, and I quote to my tweet, actually, it confirms it, but you'd have to have a brain to understand that type of stuff. No, Dave. This only confirms how far you'll bend to protect AEW. A 6-year-old apology didn't matter until Tony Khan needed it to. AMC saw no issue. Fans saw through it. So should the journalists. If Warner Brothers Discovery actually forced this guy's firing, then AMC would have cared. They didn't. AEW did. Everything else is just you playing the shield for Tony Khan once again. And that's basically the crux of the argument, chat. AMC has no problem.
Nope.
AMC brought back Trey Miguel in light of all these comments that were basically uncovered and brought to light this week. AMC didn't care. So you, the wrestling media, wants me to believe that Trey Miguel was fired because it came from above Tony Khan's pay grade, or came from above, meaning Warner Brothers Discovery, and some random no-name, faceless suit and tie. It came from above. That's why Trey Miguel is no longer with AEW.
No, he's not going to be. He's not going to be with AEW no more. What? What's with the total copywriting? Come on YouTube. I'm gonna just skip this bullshit.
Tackle dangerous. Every watch. Toughest part of Popeye's $5 base budget is choosing which way.
I'm trying to watch the show. You're ruining my hustle. Fuck Tyrack.
Say this once, and this is going to be the final time. There's nobody there at Warner Brothers Discovery sitting in the offices as they cultivate this absolutely monumental deal with Netflix. There's not one single person that has an iota of a clue as to who Trey Miguel is. And even if they did, they're not being bothered by Trey Miguel being brought into Tony Khan's little fantasy wrestling league. Nobody gives a shit about Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, Desmond Xavier, and Myron Reed. Not a single fucking person. That's number one, laughable. Nobody there cares. If AMC didn't care, if all the indies that Trey Miguel worked from 2020 to 2026 didn't care, why are you going to shield to your listeners? Why are you going to spread the lie that Warner Brothers Discovery, they are the ones that got rid of him? If AMC don't care, what makes you believe that Warner Brothers Discovery actually cares? I mean, your entire narrative, whatever lies Tony Khan had asked you to peddle, it got blown up into smithereens, and there's no coming back from it. Absolutely no. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, and I mentioned this. Zachary Wentz, he's had a sully history. I love all of them, but I got to call it out. Zachary Wentz was fired by WWE during his time in NXT, which left Wesley all by himself. MSK got absolutely fucking destroyed, and Wesley needed to go on a singles run by himself. He was fucking lost for months before they actually found something for him to do. Zachary Wentz got fired because of pictures that resurfaced from his ex-wife at the time, where he dressed as Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
But he's working with AEW. So if Zachary Wentz dressed up as Hitler and is forgiven Zachary Wentz,
that's what it is.
And Trey Miguel be on the same roster team. Well, why does Trey Miguel need to be fired?
The
comments that he made, the homophobic comments that he made, the comments that he made to David Starr that he obviously apologized for.
They're going after him for it.
Well, where's the hypocrisy being called out there? Where's the double standard being called out there? On top of everybody else on that roster, Don Callis with his sully past and all the shit that people, dig up on him. Scorpio Sky and Jim Ross and Sammy Guevara and Excalibur and God knows whoever else did something. Backstage. Adam Page just took a picture with fucking Marty Scurll the other day. Nobody's making a big deal about that. They brought in Gallus backstage this week at Dynamite/Collision. Gallus has a selling history too. All of them were basically called out during the speaking out movement. I mean, Wolfgang got accused of being a pedophile by his ex-fiance. Joe Coffey at the Coffey Brothers, he was accused of sexual abuse and soliciting naked photos of other women pro wrestlers and stalking. Accused is the key word there, but I guess that type of thing is kind of swept under the rug, and nobody wants to really focus on that. I guess the morality police in AEW that night when they invited Gallus took the night off. Apparently, I don't fucking know. Zachary Wentz didn't date Alicia Atu, who's the wife of the current AEW World Champion.
Thank God.
Zachary Wentz didn't make comments on Jewish people and comments on the LGBTQ community. I'm going to let you make your own conclusions.
Zachary Wentz does his blood. He go Hitler picture.
Discovery, who found out everything about Trey Miguel, who then went to Tony Khan, and then Tony Khan needed to make the decision based off Warner Brothers Discovery and their discovery of a 7-year-old fucking post that Trey Miguel made on fucking Facebook in 2020. It came from someone that didn't like him there, someone that saw an opportunity to use their power, whoever it may be. Someone there went to Tony Khan. Tony Khan needed to make the decision to fire this guy to make everybody live in harmonious fucking glee in AEW. And then he ran with the story that, it wasn't any of the talent. It wasn't me. It's Warner Brothers Discovery. It came from above. Bro, if AMC don't have a fucking problem with it, which is another major streaming partner and another major streaming cable network, then why the fuck am I going to believe that Warner Brothers Discovery cared about Trey Miguel being on AEW's payroll? You gotta be out of your fucking mind. I swear to God. I don't know how anybody believes the dirt sheets. They can tell the truth. They told you what they were told to say. Basically, is what it boils down to. They did not tell the truth, and they were told to say something about this because Tony Khan wanted his story out, and he wanted it to be a cover-up.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to tell you. If it made any sense, there wouldn't be so many excuses being thrown out there and us making videos on it, calling out the bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got another gem for you. We're not done yet. Another Meltzer gem. Listen to this. And we'll end with this. Powerhouse Hobbs officially signed with WWE following the expiration of his contract with AEW last week. Sean Ross Sapp confirmed that the signing was made last night, ending speculation about his future. The Wrestling Observer put this gem out, an insight into the decision-making process behind Powerhouse Hobbs' move to WWE. According to Meltzer, the decision was largely motivated by financial security for his family. Meltzer says, and I quote, regarding Will Hobbs, he is signed there, and I did see some promo work he's done. Sure thing, man, sure thing. Was it A1? AI? What was it? he was good in a backstage setting, but haven't seen him do a long one in front of a crowd. Those in AEW said they believe he could handle that aspect. Nobody in AEW had anything negative to say about Powerhouse Hobbs, with us being told that he made the decision based on his family, which would seem to indicate he got a better money deal. You mean the same money deal that Sean Ross Sapp went and reported last week that was apparently substantial? That apparently was too huge for Powerhouse Hobbs to turn down, but he did it anyway? Guys, if you genuinely believe that Powerhouse Hobbs was offered more money by WWE than AEW offered, I got a fucking bridge in Brooklyn to sell. Powerhouse Hobbs made the decision not for his family. Powerhouse Hobbs made the decision for himself. I don't really understand, again, how you believe the pro wrestling media. AEW offered him a 7-figure contract.
Yeah.
This is a fact. They offered him more than $1 million a year to stay. Is Powerhouse Hobbs worth $1 million a year to stay with AEW?
Or would
he's
he?
not.
Why not?
He ended up telling Tony Khan, I don't want your money. I'm going over there. And he did it for the fact that he's 34 years old, and now it is as better time as any to get the WWE rub and do what he needs to do to become a fucking GOAT in this industry. That's why he went with WWE. The only reason why Dave put that out and made it seem like WWE offered him more money when they didn't, AEW offered Hobbs more money, is, again, they're deflecting Tony Khan away from the discussion, and they want the narrative out there that WWE offered him more money. He could not turn it down. But what that really means is that Tony Khan offered him more money and didn't want it to seem like he was so desperate to keep Powerhouse Hobbs to simply keep him away from WWE. It's basically what it boils down to. Again, do not believe the pro wrestling media. Powerhouse Hobbs took the WWE contract to better his career, not better him financially. Financially, in the long run, yes. But right now, in the short term, he's going to WWE for Powerhouse Hobbs. He's not going there because of the financial security offers his family right now, or motivated by family, decision based on family. No. Powerhouse Hobbs is going to WWE because Powerhouse Hobbs wants to get where he needs to be as a professional wrestler while taking less money. Yes, Tony, thank you for telling the world how desperate you are to keep talent from your company going to WWE. I'm done. Thank you guys very much for all your support. If you did enjoy today's video, please go and check out all the other stuff on the channel. I'll be live tonight for Friday Night SmackDown. Back to normal time, 8 p.m. tonight for SmackDown. I'll be live closer to 11:30 tonight on YouTube. Follow me on social media at JD206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below and turn on the bell for all notifications. Thank you guys very much, and I'll see you tonight live for SmackDown and the post show right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.
Man, you guys probably like that theme, that theme that came from a Final Fantasy 7 video game. You probably heard it first. But I got some other news to tell you about what really happened with in the media. So I gotta find what's going on. Man, just screams. Man, just scream.